Imagine a man who defies simple labels, a decorated soldier, a passionate advocate, and a formidable media personality. His journey takes him from the grit of conflict zones to the glare of television spotlights, and his voice echoes through debates on patriotism and the future of America. This is the story of Pete Hegseth, a man who dares to stand by his convictions, no matter how controversial they may be. Today, we dive deep into his life, exploring the triumphs, the trials, and the turning points that shaped him into one of the most provocative figures in modern American discourse. Welcome to our documentary on Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth's story begins in the heart of Minneapolis, Minnesota, where he was born into a family that prized patriotism and unwavering faith. In his early years, the values of loyalty, integrity, and duty were instilled in him at home, a foundation that would later influence every decision he made. Growing up in a conservative environment, Pete was surrounded by stories of heroism, sacrifice, and the importance of service. It wasn't long before these tales ignited in him a desire to forge a path defined by honor and commitment. Even as a young boy, he listened intently to the accounts of past heroes, dreaming of one day making his own mark on history. After graduating from Princeton University, Pete made a decision that would set him on a unique course. He joined the Army National Guard. His choice wasn't just about serving his country, it was about embodying the principles he had grown up admiring. Pete's military career soon took him to some of the world's most challenging environments, from the controversial detention facility at Guantanamo Bay to the hostile battlefields of Iraq and Afghanistan. In these volatile regions, he experienced firsthand the raw realities of war. Under harsh conditions, Pete learned the true meaning of sacrifice and camaraderie. His actions on the field were marked by bravery and quick thinking, qualities that earned him not one, but 2 Bronze Stars. These accolades were not only symbols of his courage, but also evidence of the heavy burdens borne by those who serve on the front lines. In the midst of chaos, Pete's leadership shone brightly. He helped guide his fellow soldiers through life-threatening situations, proving that in the crucible of war, unity and perseverance are indispensable. Returning home after experiencing the horrors and heroics of war did not signal the end of Pete's mission. It marked the beginning of a new chapter. With the scars and insights of combat still fresh, he redirected his passion toward advocacy and public discourse. Pete took on the role of CEO at Concerned Veterans for America, a position that allowed him to channel his commitment to service into fighting for the rights and recognition of his fellow veterans. His transition from the battlefield to the public square was seamless. Armed with firsthand knowledge of the costs of war, Pete emerged as a fierce critic of policies he believed undermined national security and the sacrifices made by service members. It wasn't long before his outspoken views and unwavering conviction captured the attention of the media. Soon he found himself in the role of a television commentator on Fox News, where he became a familiar face on Fox and Friends Weekend. On national TV, Pete Hegseth wasn't just discussing policies, he was challenging the status quo. His segments were filled with passionate rhetoric that resonated with viewers who craved a voice that would stand firm against what he saw as the erosion of American values. Whether he was dissecting military strategies, questioning government decisions, or defending traditional ideals, his message was unmistakable. America must remain strong, united, and true to its foundational principles. In addition to his on-screen presence, Pete Hegseth is a prolific writer whose books have further cemented his place in the public arena. Titles like American Crusade and Battle for the American Mind offer a window into his philosophy, a blend of staunch patriotism, a call for reform in military and political institutions, and a critique of what he describes as a dangerous drift from traditional values. However, with such a bold voice comes inevitable controversy. Pete's views have sparked heated debates across the nation. To his supporters, he is a courageous patriot, unafraid to confront the challenges facing modern America. They see in him a clarion call to defend a way of life that values duty, honor, and respect for the sacrifices made by those who serve. To his detractors, however, his rhetoric can be polarizing, with critics accusing him of contributing to a climate of division and partisanship. This dichotomy, admiration versus animosity, underscores the complex legacy of Pete Hegseth. His willingness to engage in fierce public debates and his readiness to question established narratives have made him a lightning rod for controversy. Yet through it all, he remains committed to his vision, using his platform to advocate for what he believes is best for America, even when it places him at odds with mainstream opinion. As we reflect on the life of Pete Hegseth, we see more than a former soldier or a television personality. We see a man driven by an unyielding commitment to his principles. His journey, marked by the harsh realities of war and the contentious world of political debate, challenges us to consider the true cost of conviction and the meaning of service in today's America. Pete Hegseth's story is one of transformation, a journey from the battlefields to the boardrooms of media and advocacy. It forces us to confront difficult questions. What is the price of patriotism in a divided nation? Can a single voice inspire change amidst widespread controversy? And ultimately, how do we balance the call for progress with the need to honor the past? Thank you for joining us as we explore the life and legacy of Pete Hegseth. His story, with all its complexities and contradictions, invites us to think critically about the ideals that shape our society. If you found this documentary thought-provoking, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of the figures who shape our world. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What does Pete Hegseth's journey mean to you, and what can we learn from his steadfast commitment to his beliefs?